right there. So there we go. Coming down in 3, 2, and 1. Well, Mayor Shane, welcome back to Mayor's Monday here again at WSAU, WSAU.com. Once again, not exactly in the same spot yet, but we are getting close. Next month, maybe. We're still trying to get everybody vaccinated. I've got one round of vaccine. I've got another coming up here in a couple of days, so I'll be good. How are you doing
So I'm
on the
good. Thank you, and I appreciate you having me on. And yeah, actually, I get my second one tomorrow, so I will be done after that. And but yeah, I don't think today would have been the best day to come down with the snow,
Mhm.
and so we've got snow down here.
Yeah,
And
oh, well, you guys can keep it. We don't here in Wausau, so I guess that's a good thing. That's a
yeah,
good
we
thing.
woke
I
up
didn't
to
have to
some.
deal with it.
Yeah,
You
we
know, if
woke
you
up to
don't
some
say
on in the grass, but not on the
yeah,
pavement. But it reminded
yeah,
us it's still spring.
right. Yeah, and, if you don't say the word, if you don't say the SNOW and you just don't acknowledge it, it'll go away, right?
Yeah, it's pretty much gone. But yes.
Yeah, and certainly, something that we haven't had to deal with this year, and it now, again, knock on wood, it's starting to look like we are in the clear with that. So the streets crew, I guess, how have they handled this year and, with a lack of work, or have they been able to get some other odds and ends cleared up
Yeah,
that maybe
we
been
always
ignored?
there's always something to be done. So if it's not plowing snow, it's doing other odds and end projects. And this year they were able to start construction projects sooner, and which is good. We get orange cone season going a little bit early, and but there's always something to be done. That's one thing
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And as a matter of does it get done quickly or not, well, we'll just say that we are talking about government here and leave it at that. But speaking of construction and remodeling things like that, you have a project right now with your city fire department that you're working on. That give us an idea of where this came from. You've got some multi-million-dollar improvements to basically bring some of these facilities into the 21st century in more ways than one.
Yeah, when I was on council, myself and another council person kind of started talking about, we have gender inequality in our fire departments, and that's just the nature of the organization from times past, and that's no longer the case now. And so we wanted to address, locker rooms, shower facilities, sleeping quarters, and so those things needed to be updated, and it was to my opinion was unacceptable. And so we're tackling that. Our fire department and their staff over there have been working on this with a consultant, and so they're putting together um, cost estimates, and those will be the next things coming before council is are those estimates and those designs. And we're looking forward to getting this project done and moving ahead.
And so this is going to be a project that is on tap for this spring and summer then, correct? You haven't
That,
exactly started with it, but it is something that will be done.
that is correct. It will be done this year.
So give us an idea then, is this going to involve expanding the footprints of any buildings, or is this just going to be kind of a reconfiguring of the indoor spaces?
So on our west side fire station, it'll be a reconfiguration and some updating inside. On our east side fire station, the newer fire station, that will involve changing the footprint. They'll do an addition on the side and the front, or on the back and the side on that facility to accommodate the sleeping quarters, going to more of a dorm style sleeping quarters instead of more of they had more of an open concept with some divider walls that didn't go to the ceiling, and then a locker room facility, and then updating. Firefighters are with the smoke and the carcinogens that are involved in that. So they're going to kind of reorganize the decontamination area after a fire, and trying to improve some of those things for the health benefits.
And you brought up a great point right there, health benefits, because this is something that these people you're asking a lot of them. You're asking them to protect the city, protect the property, protect residents. So you want to make sure that you have the absolute best and healthiest environment for them. in exchange for the commitment that they're making to your community.
Absolutely. They all, have lives outside of work too. And so, if we can mitigate any situations where they're exposed to hazards that, if we can help protect them in that process, I think that's an obligation that we owe them.
And in addition to that as well, you want to make sure that you're attracting and retaining top talent. And if somebody sees outdated quarters like that, that's going to be a strike against you if they're looking for a job and looking for some place to relocate.
Internally, I always joke if I'd be satisfied as a mayor if we can take other cities' good employees. So any opportunity that I can try to make with other departments and other departments within those cities, I will gladly take that opportunity. So watch out other communities because yeah, we want to attract your good employees also.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, just make sure that you have the best to offer your residents
Mhm.
there in Wisconsin Rapids, and you're not only doing that here in the fire department, which again, very important aspect of the municipal government, but you're also doing that in the Parks and Recreation department as well. Kind of taking a look at your master plans there to freshen those up and see what can be done in those departments.
Yes, we have a consultant to redo our master plan of our parks. And so I think yesterday or recently a survey was released, which can be found on our website or on our Facebook pages. And we're looking for input from the public for, their thoughts on our parks and what they could use more of or what we really should change and trying to better utilize that space for the people that do use that facilities.
And I know under your predecessor, Zach Ruwink, this was something that was a big point of emphasis for him with the expansion of the city's parks and trail system. You've got, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's some 25 miles of bike, running, walking trails that are connected throughout the city. It even goes into some other municipalities there. You've got the outdoor weight equipment space that's in one park. And so this is something that the city has taken seriously in years past.
Yeah, it has been a priority. Thanks to the citizens of the community that have approved all the borrowing. Because they ultimately have paid for that through borrowing, and by having those opportunities, we've been able to expand, some of those trails and amenities within the park.
So what exactly then would be the next phase of this? What exactly would you be looking to hear from these surveys, and what projects could come out of them?
You know, it it's really to kind of find out, a passion of mine is and something that Wisconsin Rapids doesn't have currently right now is a dog park. We do not have a public dog park, and I think that's important for a community to have a dog park where park owners can get together at these dog parks and support that those enjoyments that they like out of having dogs. And I'm a dog owner myself, but it's really kind of getting that feedback on what improvements they would like to see. Would we like to see more ball fields, more outdoor basketball courts, those kind of things, and just seeing what they feel about our parks and what we're lacking or we're doing well.
And how long is this survey process going to take then? And when can we expect to see some results?
So this process will span over several months. Once surveys and then compiling the information, working with our Park and Rec Commission and kind of getting their input, and so this will be a several month process.
And again, nothing gets done quickly in government. Occasionally, just ask us here in Wausau how long it took to get the dog park approved here, and it's not even quite open yet.
Well,
We're
the reason why it takes so long, we just want to make sure it's done right.
Yeah, exactly. We're gonna see that dog park here in Wausau open pretty soon, and tell you what, it's looking great. If I was a dog owner myself, it's something that I would be proud of. But my cat is just holding out for laser pointers in
Yeah,
parks. That's what we're holding out for
I can
right now.
easily entertain my dog with a laser pointer also.
It's probably one of the best parts of pet ownerships is the laser pointer. I think that's probably the best part. Of course,
Laser
before we
whip.
get Yeah, before we get too sidetracked talking about our pets, because of course they're more interesting than people sometimes. Give us an idea now of where we are as far as the Verso paper mill process, or the paper mill co-op, I guess we could call it now, is going. You're still in discussions about that. Are we getting closer to reality and closer to maybe putting that Wisconsin Rapids signature building back online?
Well, I think it was about 2 weeks ago. I had the timber professionals and some people down from Rhinelander. We had them on our local radio station, and they did an hour program to kind of update, the community on, the co-op concept and where they're at. And I did also meet with them after that. And they are organized. They are passionate. They are putting everything in line to hopefully make a purchase on the mill down the road here. Obviously, financing is a big thing, and so they're working through that aspect and how they can do that through the co-op. And they are well informed though, and they have been putting a lot of hours into this.
Then as the far as the discussions with Verso have gone, are we making any progress there as well, or is this something where they're remaining silent for now?
As a private company, we have not had any communications with them, and no matter how much I would wish we could have a regular dialogue, it is still a private company, and they get to kind of do what they want to do, and they don't have to talk to us.
Right. But as far as the purchase goes, you're saying some things there where maybe getting to a point where they're starting to line up
Well,
finance. So is this something that could be happening in the near future?
we're hoping, obviously with the co-op and their board of directors, their business operations is probably a little more confidential. So as they're trying to put that together and negotiating with Verso, that's something that I'm not privy to, and I guess I wouldn't expect to be at this point. And we're looking forward to those conversations, hopefully in the future.
Looks like we did have a famous Zoom freeze in there
Oh, did
as
we?
well. Of course, again, we're doing all of these remotely via Zoom for the last few months. We've had things going smoothly, so I suppose we had to have a hiccup here at the very end. But you did say that the dialogues and negotiations could be happening behind the scenes right now, but the city is not necessarily involved in that. Is the city going to have some kind of financial stake in this, or is the city's interest in this right now just, we want to keep the people that we have here in Wisconsin Rapids, and have, you know, jobs for them to go to on a daily basis?
Well, first of all, I hope I didn't give you a funny freeze frame, but so yeah, we've offered, and we're more than open to have discussions with the co-op group, and should they have a need, we would definitely take that to the city council. I know, even up through the state level, everybody's trying to position themselves to help assist in some way, should that hopefully happen. But we're not part of those initial we're not part of the board, so we're not part of that discussion with the negotiations with Verso and those communications.
But you are there if need be. If they say, hey, we're $5 million shorts on this, there is the possibility that something could be worked out.
We would definitely be open to any discussions.
Okay. Gotcha. So then, and I know recently the city, or the community, did just get some funding from Representative Ron Kine's office through, I believe it was the CARES Act. What was that money used for? I think it was some $144,000. Is that correct?
Yeah, actually, it's kind of a little bit bigger than that. So we, through Northwest Regional Plan, applied for a grant, and that grant also has a pass-through match that was with the Heart of Wisconsin and the Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation. So it's about $180,000 total, and that money is used. well, the grant that was initially applied for, it's to be used for the help redevelopment of of the Verso site. Should the parcels and also the downtown area that affects, that are also affected by Verso, and trying to do some studies, figure out what we can use some of that site for. Should parcels become available, because there is a lot of land parcels attached to Verso, and should that new buyer not be interested in all of it, then how can we kind of step in and try to help out? And so that's what that money will be used for, is for that redevelopment study.
So let's say the Verso mill does come back online, but they only need 75% of the land. This allows you to have options to fill the other 25% to make sure it does stay on the
Mhm.
city's tax roll in one form or another.
Yep, exactly. And that's the goal of the end goal of all this, is that, what can that extra space or space be used for, or some, if some things have been vacated.
Gotcha. So that's it's good to hear that those talks are indeed
Mm.
progressing, because we are coming up now on about 1 year since this plant has been idled. Now I know there are still some people that may be working there, but it's obviously not the humming, buzzing place that it was
Correct.
18 months ago.
Correct. There is another company located inside the facility called Sunoco, and it's the basically the recycling board end of it, which is a separate company that employs almost 100 people. And so it's very important that their business is still going strong. And then through the converting process, over in converting, there's, I think, around another 80 or so people that are employed there, and they are still filling orders for vendors that have a specific need for whatever they need to convert the paper rolls into. And so that's still going, that Versal's operating, and apparently they're bringing paper in from other mills and converting it here. But yeah,
Mhm.
that's definitely not operating as it once had yet. Hopefully in the future.
Yeah, hopefully there will be one day where we can say this is a chapter of Wisconsin Rapids history that is put behind us, and things are moving forward as they normally would have been, again 18 months ago or so,
Mhm.
at that time. Well, Mayor Shane, we always appreciate the time here on Mayor's Monday again, and we'll hopefully get down to see you next month, be
Very
in the
good.
same room together, maybe make a field trip, maybe make a field trip to Metalco, finally
Yeah,
have a formal ribbon cutting there and get a chance to talk with our Canadian friends. But we certainly do appreciate the time.
thank you.